Power and Justice by Beenish Side. In 2021, the majority of the places in the world, power is given to the leaders through the consent of the majority. However, just because the majority has given power to the individuals, it does not pronounce them as the end-all and be-all of everything. Power, when used in humility and to establish justice, is right, while using power to make the people who they serve feel powerless and to dictate as well as oppress them is wrong. When people of power establish injustice, to remain silent and tolerate injustice becomes a crime. Today you may be facing injustice, but tomorrow someone else will face injustice through your silence. To be forced to go through a system to prove your innocence or guilt that is flawed is injustice, as the result has already been decided. If an act of injustice is done and people of the world are not informed of it and it is carried out, it does not change the fact that it is wrong. Having a system that informs people after injustice is done is wrong. Not having a system that informs people in order to prevent is wrong. It is similar to going through an examination and, due to the known fact of their discrimination that the seats have already been decided for someone else, you are failed. A piece of paper written by someone else tells people who you are, as they are considered experts or professionals in their field, and the person who has written that piece of paper is considered flawless and perfect. A doctor diagnoses a person with cancer in the morning but gets surprised when there are no signs of cancer in a person when checked at night. The non-acceptance of the power of Allah is wrong. Every person who gathers statistics will inform as well as attest to the fact that you cannot diminish the margin of error in any result, due to the fact that we are all human beings and Allah has not made us perfect but made us to attain perfection. Intelligence used for the wrong reasons becomes a tool for injustice. When an action is wrong, it is wrong, and when an action is right, it is right. Even if we are at a position where we are to follow the orders of our seniors in an organization or personal situation, it is still our responsibility to ensure that we are establishing justice, not injustice, as every one of us will be questioned on an individual basis of our actions. There are many empires that have fallen due to the arrogance of perfection and the fact that they don't accept the fact that Allah is the most powerful. A human being can be just all their life and that depicts of their record, but if in the present moment they are a part of injustice, they will be amongst the unjust until the individual chooses to repent and chooses to be just. A human being can become a professional in a field, but when faced with the uncertainty of a pandemic can become a student from an expert again. A boundary can separate the just from the unjust, but it does not diminish the disease of injustice. To establish justice is to eliminate injustice at its core. To establish justice is to awaken the humanity in the unjust. To establish justice is to change a heart from cold to soft. To establish justice is to not only make a voice feel that it is heard, but it can make a difference in this world. To establish justice is to facilitate an environment that is hopeful of the good in every individual. To establish justice is to reward or punish equivalent to the deed. To establish justice is to stand with what is right regardless of the consequences. To establish justice is to give an authority to an individual only as much as it is just. An innocent person is not responsible to knock on doors of the powerful and to ask for justice. A just land and a just individual of power is responsible to ensure that justice is established in his or her land, for a person of power has to answer of his or her fulfillment of his or her responsibility and duties, not an individual who has been wronged. A tear fallen through injustice may not have value to the unjust in this world, but may be the reason for the destruction of an eternity of the soul in the next world. In a moment a person can be just, as in a moment they can become unjust. Weight in words don't come through the acceptance of it of the majority. Weight in words comes from the truth, knowledge, hope, humanity and justice that it establishes and spreads. Therefore, power is responsible to establish justice and is answerable for the injustice under his or her authority. Live Today Challenge Yourself book written by Beenish Side, coming soon and will be available for purchase globally. Subscribe to Live Today Challenge Yourself YouTube channel today by clicking on the subscribe button below. Also, check How to Live Today series on Live Today Challenge Yourself YouTube channel by clicking on the link in the description section below.